An evil corporation has sent Combat Agent 6 on a mission to infiltrate another world and set up a transporter. After he finishes his training, he will join Princess Tilly's army to help them fight the Demon Lord's army. The general tells Agent 6 that the treasure he found has opened the path to the Demon Lord's castle for the hero's party. He has just received word that they are being attacked by Haney of the Flame. However, the general would like Agent 6 to take her out, along with the other troops. To come with him, members of the Demon Lord's Elite Four have learned that it was all the strategist's idea as they await the battle. 6 and Alice discuss how the strategist has obviously sent them on a mission to get themselves killed. Although Alice's shotgun is currently being repaired and Grim has fallen asleep yet again, 6 only wants to pretend like they will fight. Haney finally arrives, followed by an army and golems that use magic to move. 6 has decided to fight and has asked Snow to come with him. Despite having just taken out a 3-year loan on a new weapon, Iberius agrees to help Alice wake Grim. Rose won't help, as she wants to take a bite out of the griffin so she can be able to fly. Since Alice and Rose are unable to perform their tasks, 6 takes on the task of handling the golem. 6 is unable to buy enough time and unfortunately takes a beating. In order to help, 6 decides to release Tiberius and command him to help. As the countdown finished, 6 was able to overpower the golem, so there was no need to worry. After explosives arrived, they were finally able to defeat it. Grim woke up afterwards and 6 explained that there was a 3-minute cooldown after releasing his limiter, rendering him unable to move. His unit was now responsible for his protection. Haney's timely arrival reassured 6 that there was no cause for concern. Haney is stunned when she sees Rose's nice physique. This only enrages her further. Henny is impressed by Rose, but she's disappointed after fighting the female knight. Snow arrives to explain that her brand new weapon was melted by Haney, and asks for 6 to get revenge. Haney overhears him explaining that he can't move. She promises to make his defeat fast and begins an attack that Rose says she won't be able to block. Grim buys them some time with a paralyzing curse, and Haney is stunned when she sees Rose's nice physique. The cooldown on taking on Demon Lord 6 finally ended, but before he could do anything, Haney offered him a place in the Demon Lord's army. She offered him 3 times the pay he was currently getting, but more importantly, she persuaded him with a life filled with sirens and succubi. Snow arrived and broke up the situation before 6 could give in to temptation and apologize to Alice. Haney lost the Magicite, which was the source of most of her power, when she took on the Demon Lord. The Demon Lord's Elite Four remain in total control, with 6 deciding to force Haney into being the model of a photo shoot. He earned tons of evil points for each picture. After all that, 6 revealing that he never intended on giving her back the precious stone earned him even more evil points. Haney vowed to get revenge one day. That night, the unit celebrated her victory. Snow finally acknowledged how 6 and Alice are vital parts of the unit. She has not yet fully accepted him. Bussing away he would just be someone else. 6 realizes that Snow must be secretly falling for him at the end of the night. After 6 drunkenly teased Snow, she promised to kill him one day. Before she can explain what she really meant, the strategist takes her somewhere secluded. He understands how much trouble success has cost her and reminds her of her goal to rejoin the Royal Guard. She thinks about how 6 foul-mouthed with a nasty personality, but she wouldn't want to take all the cussing away. He would just be someone else. The strategist still thinks she hates them, though he only needs her to find evidence that 6 is a spy like she had originally thought. He sends her with a reward to give 6, but she would eventually decide against betraying him. She can overhear his conversation with Alice when she arrives outside his room. Snow is surprised to hear what 6 would think about being married to her. Even more shocking, though, is when he reminds Alice of the work their unit has done and rewards them with a gift. She was not aware that they had been asked to come as spies, and Snow reveals herself to them and confronts them for being spies. 6 calls Snow a pervert for barging in without knocking, but it's clear that Snow is not joking around. She is still grateful for what they have done for her country, so she doesn't ask who they are and demands that they leave immediately. Days later, Snow explained that the strategist had assumed she was the one who had asked them to come for spying, and she was not aware of their mission. Snow still feels terrible about leaving 6 and putting him back in the Royal Guard, but is happy that Rose and Graham were allowed in as well. Rose has reported that the Demon Lord's army is on the move and they may attack in the next few days. She regrets not giving him a chance to explain. However, we see that 6 is doing just fine. They have relocated and decided that it's time to set up the teleporter to connect it to Earth. Once it is prepared, agents will be dispatched and the nation will be invaded. Alice notices, "I am going to the store to buy some milk. I need to buy some milk from the store. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to the store." Realizes that he is not as evil as the corporation he works for and decides to stay with them and help Alice and her friends fight against the demon army. Although 6 is an agent for an evil corporation, he has no feelings. As preparations for the portal will take a month, they both contemplate what 6 can do in the meantime. Alice explains that the demon army will return with great force, and 6 exclaims that Snow will get what she deserves after kicking them out. He takes blame for being a spy, and Alice points out how lenient she is considering most nations simply execute spies. 6 realizes that he is not as evil as the corporation he works for, so he decides to stay and help Alice and her friends fight against the demon army. Clave is in danger, though he won't go save her since he is no hero. 6 would then spend the night earning evil points by tormenting villagers. Snow interrupts him. She knows he is a pitiful pervert but explains that even for him, this is a new low. However, 6 reveals that he was actually preparing for the Demon Lord's attack. She is surprised to hear that Snow hasn't told anyone about why he left, and she doesn't believe him. He then uses the opportunity to tell Rose to spread the news that the Snow Conclave is in danger. 6 made advances towards him, offering to help with the upcoming battle, but Snow refused to apologize. The next day, 6 learned that he had earned a bad reputation as the Zipper Man, due to his evil doings the night before. Alice decided to save 200 evil points for their trump card and use the rest on mines. They spent the night placing the mines, and the next day they were surprised to hear that. "I'm not sure what you mean." The doctor recommended that the patient take the medication 3 times a day. The doctor recommended the patient take the medication 3 times a day. "I hope to find the Chosen One before it's too late." Alice and 6 learned that the Chosen One had almost defeated one of the Elite Four, but an enemy had teleported them away. They point out that heroes usually lose at first, only to become stronger and redeem themselves. 6 realizes that the Chosen One's legend has gone off the rails because he took the tower before the Chosen One had a chance to redeem himself. The only hope for Alice is to find the Chosen One before it's too late. Of a way to defeat the Demon Lord, Alice and 6 had 2 ideas for how to defeat the Demon Lord. The first step was to transport nuclear weapons to the Demon Lord's palace, and the second was for Alice to infiltrate the palace alone and self-destruct, thereby blowing up the entire palace. Neither of them liked either idea. Alice explained that there were no other options since the Chosen One was their last hope, and it was only a matter of time before the Demon Lord was victorious. The 2 then came up with a solution to run away from home. Tilly arrived as they were preparing to leave, and explained that she had begun to think of a way to defeat the Demon Lord. 6 is a spy, though he attempts to deny it. After Tilly threatens 6 with torture, 6 admits to being a spy. She doesn't want to arrest him, though, explaining that her country will surely be destroyed by the next day. Tilly's only request is that 6 spread the word of how hard her country fought and warn other countries of the Demon Lord's power. 6 decides to protect her for a while, but wonders if they should just run away. Alice said that it would be easier to run. BR reasons when the Demon Lord attacked. Snow explained to the 6,000 old unit members that they would rather die than run if things got bad. Rose and Grimmer were hesitant to agree with her, but 6 taunts convinced them to change their minds. Tilly was worried that the war would soon begin, but 6 was just busy telling stories about how perverted unicorns are. Haney led the Demon Lord's army and explained that she feared one human even more than the Chosen One. The army began to fall because of somber reasons. Haney and Alice sensed Her Majesty nearby and wondered if 6 now wanted to join their side and defeat their enemies since the Chosen One was gone. At the castle, Alice pointed out how their minds must be slowing down the Demon Lord's army. 6 was debating whether to run away, but he told Tilly that he wasn't worried about his comrade because he knew how strong they were. Haney and the Demon Lord's army suddenly appeared in the distance. As the battle began, Grim planned to use a curse to defeat their enemies. Grim gathered every pair of rings from every couple in town to stop the golems, and used them as a sacrifice to Haney's god in order to stop her magic. Her curse was successful and she managed to pin the golems to the ground. Grim then requested that Haney's flame magic be sealed away forever. The curse rebounded onto Grim, unfortunately. Since she didn't use flame magic anyway, Grim told Haney that she would continue cursing her until she ran out of sacrifices. Although Rose joined the fight, Haney's magic was too powerful for her. Even if she defeats the Elite Four, she will still be powerless against the Demon Lord. Snow struggles to hold her own against one of the Demon Lord's Elite Four. Humans have always treated her poorly, but she fights for them now because she was deemed an apprentice combat agent. Rose's grandfather taught her to never abandon friends, so when Snow jumps into defender mode, Grim and Rose both tell her that they can handle the demon. After being reminded by them that her main priority is to protect the princess, she heads off to the castle. 6 attempts to convince Tilly to run away. Even if she defeats the Elite Four, she will still be powerless against the Demon Lord, he explains. 6 agrees to help keep the royal bloodline going, remembering that if the country is lost, their survival still means they win. However, their escape is interrupted by Snow, who explains how dire the situation is and that Rose and Grim are the ones holding the army back. She offered 6 all her money and her brand new weapon in exchange for his help. Alice wants him to ignore her and use all his remaining evil points on their escape. 6, realizing he works for an evil corporation and now being a normal civilian after being kicked out of the unit, makes one final plea for him to rescue Rose and Grim, as they will surely fall. Although 6 has been with the corporation longer than any other agent, Alice is disappointed when he agrees to help because he can never fully commit to being evil. 6 asks Alice to warp in an anti-material gun since there's no time to make it to the front gate. Oh, hit the right target. 6 doesn't have enough evil points, so he admits to using them on some lewd magazines. He plans to punch the king in the face for being useless to gain evil points. He is stopped by the snow, and she offers herself to 6 completely. Encouraged by Alice for the greater good, 6 uses her to earn himself some quick evil points, and we see that it affects the battle immediately. Alice is directing his shots with the antimatter rifle, allowing him to hit the right targets. We discussed how the golems had fallen into our trap. The golems realized that if 6 missed a shot from his rifle, he couldn't fire shots consecutively, and they would all be dead. As things became more tense, 6 demanded that Alice warp in his buzzsaw. Alice explained that he didn't have enough mana to do so. The Elite Four were still alive and managed to make their way to the castle. Hanyu did not believe that she would be able to get her revenge. Hanyu is the only one with enough points to tell him not to blame her for the repercussions. He introduces everyone to his anti-armored vehicle, the vibrating blade bad sword type R6, which arrives soon after. He removes the limiters on his suit and everyone prepares for the 10-second countdown. He proclaims that there isn't enough room for more than one bad guy and begins his assault on the Demon Lord's Elite Four members. The buzzsaw tears through everything in its path and 6 spins it viciously. My demon left and 6 explained that he would like a 1-month truce. He still cannot move after releasing his limiter and he tells everyone to calm down since he will come up with a plan in the next month. The teleporter will be ready at that time, and he will be able to head home. Snow gives 6 a kiss for his efforts, but he teases her. Luckily for him, his cooldown is over and he is able to run away. Later, Tilly offers 6 a place among the knights again, but he declines, explaining that he has to go home. He no longer wanted to command his crazy unit from the edge of a cliff. As he prepared to head home, Snow arrived, making a final attempt to get him to stay. After a moment, 6 looked to all his new friends and decided to help them one last time. After Snow told him that the strategist was up to no good, he punished the strategist by removing his remaining hairs. If you go back to Earth with a score of -190 evil points, you'll be punished, Alice said as he prepared to leave again. They were on the edge of a cliff. One option is to stay until 6 p.m., when the evil points are positive again, and then head off to torment his squad members. Thank you for your time.